How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm your host, Jesse Morgan, and today we have another Punk Collection update, and I am going to be starting off with something that's not really punk, but if I wait to show it off without sticking it in somewhere, it's going to be not shown off for probably fucking months. So we're going to start off with this and get it out of the way. This is Alice Cooper with Muscle of Love. Alice Cooper is obviously not punk. He's basically just rock and roll, shock rock, just kind of stuff like that. This album in particular was one out of the 25, 30, I don't know, fucking albums they have. But one of the ones that I do not have, I've pretty much got every single album by Alice Cooper now that that I need to get, except for this one that I now have, so yay. Dada and Along Came a Spider. I've got everything else. Pretty sure I've got Flush the Fashion, and no, I don't. Maybe that's the other one I need to get. Why do I feel like I have that, though? God damn it. Get the fuck out of the way. Okay. Zipper catches skin from the inside. Wait. What the fuck? Okay, apparently I don't have Flush the Fashion, so I need that one too. Fuck me. So, yeah. Anyways, finally got around to getting this one. Apparently, according to Ken Masters from The Zone in Bonneville, rest in peace, amazing fucking mom and pop shop that I've talked about a few times on this channel, but according to him, the original vinyl version of Muscle of Love, when you opened it up, there's a pop-up dick in cardboard that popped up. And I don't know if that was like limited to a certain amount of vinyl pressings back in the day, that being in 1973, but man, for 1973 to have a giant cardboard dick pop up on you when you open up the album, that's fucking hilarious. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I hope it is, because that is funny as hell. This album's not really the most amazing Alice Cooper album, to be honest. Muscle of Love is okay. Woman Machine is probably the best song on here. Hard Hearted Alice is one that it's pretty well known if you're into Alice Cooper. Man with the Golden Gun, if you're into the James Bond series. I'm not a fan of Big Apple Dreamin'. Never Been Sold Before is kind of eh. Working Up a Sweat is pretty forgettable. Crazy Little Child is kind of forgettable. And then Teenage Lamont, Alice Cooper has on like every single fucking compilation and every friggin' live album. So you at least know that one. So there's a couple of pretty well-known ones. So yeah, Muscle of Love, Man with the Golden Gun, and Teenage Lamont. But I think Woman Machine is the best song on here. And some of the lines on this is fucking hilarious. Like, do not bend, avoid excessive heat. And then there's like this naked wrestling thing. Institute of Nude Wrestling. Like, what in the fuck? In the booklet, when you open it up, there's no like actual nudity or anything like that, but I'll show you anyways. It's just them being silly. Okay, there's lyrics, no, okay. So no, there's no nudity. It's just, I don't know, there's some weird stuff there. There's some dudes scissoring for God knows what the fuck ever reason, and then I'm dressed up as sailors. I don't know if it's supposed to be a cheeky fucking gay joke or something. I don't know. Alice Cooper is really weird, so it wouldn't surprise me if you thought homoeroticism was amusing or would be funny. But honestly, that's not surprising. So there's that. Very interesting themes with this album, but all in all, not the most amazing music. But considering like the times we live in and like the technical type of music that's out there and the brutal music that's out there, for what this is, it's pretty all right. Like, for back then, it was good. It was probably pretty heavy back then. 1973, like, I don't see anything too heavy, like, beyond like Sabbath. So, you know, this is probably pissing some parents off back then. But yeah, that's Alice Cooper with, I don't know, his maybe fourth or fifth album, sixth album, somewhere around there. It's one of the earlier albums. But yeah, Muscle of Love. All right, now let's get into some actual punk. Just so the best album by these guys. This is Static Age by the Misfits. So glad to finally have a copy of this. My favorite album by the Misfits. This was technically... Please focus. This was technically their first album, but for whatever reason, it never got released in full, and they skipped, you know, re-recording everything and releasing it as their first album in favor of releasing Walk With Us as their first album for whatever reason. But this is the material that came before that, so this is as early as you're probably going to hear in a format that's, you know, accessible. So yeah, this is great stuff. This was them just doing some really old school horror punk, talking about some really crazy shit. Angel Fuck is a song from back then, so that's interesting. And it also has We Are 138, so that's a classic, amazing, frickin', you know, Misfits song. Last Caress is another good one. Spinal Remains, like Attitude. Fuck it, I love Attitude. Such a good track. If I didn't get dinged for copyright, I would probably put that in the post-credits scene that comes after these videos, but no. TV Casualty's good. The Static Age actual first track on here. Like, there's so many good songs on this if you're into like old school punk. But yeah, that's, you know, the Misfits with Static Age, their third album, technically their first. Man, this is so good. But yeah, super duper happy to get that in my collection finally. All right, now let's move on to some kind of like more street punk kind of, oh, what's the name for it? Anarchist punk, I guess. Before they got too politically like just up their own ass. This could technically be their unofficial second album, because this came after the first album back in 1998. Basically, it was a compilation of some like a compilation of songs that they did for some other thing, as well as some live tracks that wasn't ever released. So yeah, it's basically stuff that you haven't heard before. It's 19 fucking songs deep, like, so you get a lot for your buck here. And I wasn't gonna get it until I realized, wait a minute, none of this material is on any of their albums, and it came from like the early days. So hell yeah, early Anti-Flag is where it's at. So you bet your nutsack I got this. So there it is. There's the inside there. Their System Doesn't Work For You. Really, really good stuff. It says, this is a remastered reissue of the 1998 CD, Their System Doesn't Work For You. This compilation consists of 9 songs from the split CD release with the band DBS from Vancouver, Canada, titled North America Sucks. 1 released track from that same recording session, and 10 unreleased live tracks recorded at WRUW Cleveland in 1994 and 1995. So, yeah. There's that. Oh, I even see they toured with The Unseen. That's cool. And Aus Rotten. Some also wicked fucking punk bands. So, yeah. I was stoked to find out that that's what this was. So I definitely bought that up right away. Really, really good stuff. Love me some early Anti-Flag. This is their compilation. Their System Doesn't Work For You. Highly recommend it if you like early Anti-Flag. Okay, next... the next 2 are more Anti-Flag, so hopefully you enjoy them. This is Underground Network. Not really a big fan of that album cover. The red and orange and beige just don't work for me. but there's some pretty sick songs on here. This is their 2001 third album, so it's still in the pretty damn good era of Anti-Flag. Highly recommend this. Obviously, there's red tanks behind that, so if you give a shit. Angry Young and Poor is like the best track on here, and Until It Happens to You is also an amazing track. I'm pretty sure the Underground Network self-titled track is also really good. Bring Out Your Dead, Daddy Warbucks. Yeah. Excellent album. So yeah, this is the third album, Underground Network by Anti-Flag, on, who cares, Fat Wreck Chords. So I guess like NoFX's record company. Isn't that what it is? I'm pretty sure that's NoFX's record company. Unless that's Dexter Holland's. Fuck. No, I think that's SST. Fuck. Now I'm getting mixed and confused. Anyways, last one by Anti-Flag. This one is For Blood and Empire from 2006. This is their fifth album, and probably where you might want to stop. Because after this, they start going super political, kind of really poppy and semi-mainstream. So, I don't know. You could get this one, and maybe The Bright Lights of America. Any of their new like trilogy of America titled albums is garbage, absolute garbage. Would not recommend. I would recommend this though. It's still really good Anti-Flag. Not as good as like their first three albums kind of thing, but it's still them sounding fairly, street anarchist punk, but they're starting to lean towards pop punk a bit in this here and there. There's nothing that really sticks out in my mind. Maybe Hymn for the Dead. Hymn for the Dead is alright. This Is the End for You, My Friend. That is actually the best track on here. Yeah, This Is the End for You, My Friend. Check out that if you want, to hear the best song on here. And then they talk about people, like they say fuck everyone or something like that in the $1 trillion song. So it's a very like, wow. They get kind of negative in some of these songs, which is pretty weird because I know a lot of their songs are kind of upbeat and positive messages for the most part. I know there's some political stuff where it's kind of like, oh, I'm against this and that, but there's a couple of like really, wow, they really get dark in a couple of these songs. So if you're into that kind of stuff and you like lyrics, maybe you would enjoy this album. So, but anyways, This Is the End is definitely the best track on here. So yeah, this is the fifth album by Anti-Flag, For Blood and Empire. All right, getting down to the last two. This one I've been meaning to get forever, and I don't know why it took me so long to get it. I had a copy ripped from one of my cousins early in my like teenage years. But anyways, this is Pennywise with Land of the Free, the very first album I ever heard by Pennywise. Besides the Broheim song, like after that, I then heard this album. And this is from 2001. It's their sixth album, so it's kind of interesting that I heard this one before anything else. So yeah, but it grew on me. It has a lot of really, really, really good songs on it. I guess I don't need that receipt anymore because it plays fine. It's not really much to show, but man, if you're into skate punk, this is the fucking Pennywise album to get. Like, this was probably the turning point where they started going like the way you hear them now, but yeah, this is the focal point album. So if you want stuff that sounds kind of more old school stuff, you'd listen to the stuff before this one. But if you want like the more modern sound, you'd listen to the stuff after this one. This one is a perfect, nice middle ground. Has amazing hooks, amazing songs. Land of the Free, Fuck Authority, and that anthem, man, Fuck Authority is just probably the best thing I've ever heard in punk. The World, Something Wrong with Me, My God, Time Marches On. Yeah, holy fuck, this is such a good album. Anyone listening, yeah, check this one out if you, for whatever fucking reason, haven't. If you're into rock, if you're into punk rock, if you're into skate punk, if you're into just regular old ass punk, just check this album out. It's my favorite one by Pennywise. Alright, and the last thing here, some people like it, some people don't. Some people prefer their, early albums. Some people hate on the Hellcat Records for, albums, but I enjoyed it. I listened to it. I like this just as much as is anyone listening or fuck. Oh man, I'm not gonna be able to dig that out. Anyways, I liked it as much as their second or third album. This is The Unseen with State of Discontent. And once again, shout out to fucking Deja Vu Discs. You guys are always coming through with some good stuff. I don't know who keeps donating these amazing albums to you guys, but they're a moron, and it sucks that they have to, sell their shit to get money. But thank you for doing it, because I get some golden goodies like this. So yeah, this is The Unseen's fifth album from 2005. They started in 1993 and were originally called The Extinct. They did a couple albums and were mostly just like street punk, skate punk, not skate punks, just street punk. And then they started doing like a little bit more mainstream stuff. It's not really like it was still street punk, but more modernized. I had a more like solid, more produced feel, and that's probably why people hated them going on the Rancid label, the Hellcat Records label. But honestly, it's just good old punk, and they even have a cover of Paint It Black on here. I mean, what fucking punk band hasn't done a cover of Paint It Black? Even the Agony Scene has done a crazy cover of Paint It Black, but yeah. Anyways, I really enjoyed it still. I'm probably eventually going to get all their albums. I said that for a lot of bands, but I do plan on eventually getting all of these guys' albums too. There's just nothing really wrong with The Unseen when it comes to punk. So anyone who's bitching, I don't know if it's because someone, stepped down on the vocal position and someone else took it up, like Mark or some dude. Like, I don't know the band members really well, but one of them apparently... Yeah, Mark, lead vocals for this album. I think someone else was lead vocals for the early album, maybe. But let me know what the deal is with that. I remember hearing something in passing or in the comments section, but I don't give a fuck. These guys sound great. I love The Unseen. Old, new, in between, who gives a fuck? But yeah, check them out. The Unseen's great. State of Discontent. And that's it. That's my fat stack of punk, plus Alice Cooper, the original punk, whatever. I don't know, but there it is right there. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you saw something that, intrigues you. Hope I convinced you to maybe go check out some fucking punk, because there's some merit in that music. It's really good music. A lot of your, favorite bands and genres were inspired by punk, probably, most likely. So there's that. For Glory, for the Rebellion, Slammerell out.
Fuck authority, silent majority, raised by the system, now it's time to rise against them. We're sick of the treason, sick of your lies, fuck no, we won't listen, we're gonna open your eyes.
Well, that's done. Now to figure out what the fuck to do until this thing uploads. Why is poop brown? Oh, that's gross. That's...